This is Lunacid. It's a retro-style dungeon crawler from Kira LLC. It's heavily inspired by the old FromSoftware games like King's Field and also Shadow Tower. This game in particular has a bit more of like a horror lean to it, but it still definitely has that sort of King's Field feel to it. So, sort of I can go over the very basics. You have two different weapons that you can swap to. You can choose anything. It can be like a crossbow, it can be a torch, an axe, a sword, anything like that. Then you have two magic rings that you can choose from. Right now I have a light and a ranged flame attack. And then you have your quick items. So this is just any sort of item that you would use, like health potions, mana pots, that sort of thing. So it's all pretty decently basic on the surface level. So I mentioned earlier that it was heavily inspired by King's Field. It wears that on its sleeve like very obviously, but I would kind of explain it as this is how you think King's Field felt. It's a bit different in that it just controls better in a more modern way. The old King's Field games were very clunky. It had kind of like, if I remember right, it was like tank controls. Maybe it didn't have tank controls, I can't remember. But I just remember it being very slow and plodding. This game is actually a bit more fast-paced. It's not any crazy pace like Doom style or something like that. But what this game does really well is atmosphere. It does things that really remind me of like Dark Souls, just those FromSoft games that do atmosphere in a really great way. These red crystals you go to, you can level up here, you can save here. It serves as kind of like the bonfire sort of thing. You can also warp to different zones. One of the zones you get to fairly early on is this hub area. This is Wings Rest. This is where you can go. You can talk to a couple of different people. You can craft items. So if you go to this person, you can do some alchemy. Oh, just a minute. Controls are a bit clunky here. There we go. So yeah, you put in different items here. You can make bombs, throwing knives, just different items for you to use. This is the person that first introduced you to this place, this little demon girl named Demi. You got your Skelebro over here, who talks about a variety of different things. Kind of gives you like different lore things. Not. Oh, this is gonna be talking about the rats, I guess. Let them eat the rats. Okay, I guess that's a play on let them eat cake. Rats surrounded him. Yeah, so he just gives you like various little tidbits, little lore things. This person is a just a simple store that you can go to. This is where I got a couple of different weapons that I have, and mana vials, health vials, that sort of thing. There is also, if you go to your different weapons. Some of them have weapon XP, so you get that XP meter all the way up, and then you can come over here and use this oil place to upgrade, enhance your weapon. And it actually completely changes your weapon. I think, let me see. So I had a sword. This heritage sword was initially called the replica sword, and then I came over here, enhanced it at that oil, and now it is the heritage sword. It's better, does more damage, that sort of thing. So it has a lot of little systems in it, and they're all like not overly complicated. Just keeps a nice air of simplicity that I really appreciate. So I'm gonna go check out one of the actual zones, one of the early ones. It does like I said, it does a really good job of creating an atmosphere, and the way that it does that, it doesn't really overwhelm you with different enemies and that sort of thing at every turn, although there are quite a lot of different varieties of enemies that I've experienced so far. The game's still in early access, so obviously those things are going to change over time. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with what I've seen in it so far in terms of just variety. And exploring around is really fun. There are definitely areas that you have to be careful. This isn't a like one of those action RPGs where you can just save at any time and there are no consequences if you die and that sort of thing. You can lose a lot of progress if you just die at random in one of the dungeons. There aren't that many save points, so you have to be really careful and watch out. You have to be prepared. Like, if I come down here, it just goes completely black. So if I didn't have a torch, I wouldn't know what's going on. Right? So this is a game that really rewards you for taking your time and being prepared. And you should also be prepared to die, because it's just going to happen, and you're going to lose your progress, and it's probably going to be very frustrating. But it is usually very fair the way you die. You don't just get randomly killed by spike traps 100 to 0. So, at least from what I've seen, maybe that's somewhere way down the line and I just don't know about it yet. There could be an entire zone that's literally just spike traps that I don't know about, but so far, for me, it hasn't been that at all. So there's a creepy guy over there. So here's kind of an example of what the enemies are like. There's this mummy guy. They do a good job of making sure that you can tell what's going on. So it has like a wind up. You're not just going to get randomly caught and insta-die. You can set the enemy on fire, so that's a thing that you can do. They also take damage to different parts of their bodies. Like, let me see if I can find one. I can probably just hit one of these. I don't think they wake up. Yeah. So you'll notice that the head starts to shake. That's because I aimed at its head, and I hit its head specifically. The arms also have... it detects that you're hitting the arm. So that's something you can think about. I'm not sure if it changes too much. hitting the head versus other parts of the body. I haven't noticed too big of a difference. Although, if you catch one of those guys' heads on fire, and its head pops, then the fire disappears. So it's little surprising things like that happen that kind of make this game stand out for me. Alright, there's this guy. This is a different variation. The Mummy Knights. I think he has a sword. He's not too different. Alright, we can go to a different area and take a look. This is just to give an idea of what the game's overall progression is like. If I can even find my way out of here. Then, okay. Here it is. So yeah, this game is really cool. I like it a lot. It's there's just something about it that, you know, coming out of games like Dark Souls and that, you don't find a lot of games in and obviously this isn't a third-person action RPG, right? So it's different, but it's the atmospheres, the way that looting works. So you can kill an enemy a whole bunch of times and never get a single thing from it, and sometimes you get like a rare drop and you get a cool new weapon that you didn't know about. The weapons are actually different in a way that isn't insignificant. So the torch, obviously you can set things on fire with that. Heritage sword has a reach of 3. Crossbow is obviously a big difference from that. Let me see if I can equip that real quick. So this has a really far range, so that's something you can do as well. And crossbows aren't bad in this game like they are in a lot of different games. It does a pretty decent chunk of damage, plus it's long range, and it doesn't run out of ammo. So yeah, there's enough variance here to be really interesting. If you see the to the right of the name of the item, it marks it as having ice magic, poison magic. I think that's just like physical damage, fire damage. So there are differences for each thing. Some enemies get damaged more by different kinds of magic, or they don't get damage at all. Like this corrupted dagger, if I took it and tried to fight an undead, I'm pretty sure it just does nothing. So it kind of makes you think about what you're using and what you're doing as you're going along. And I really like that. So yeah, let's take a look over here. Temple of Silence. Okay, I know where I am. I'm definitely not lost. No, I'm not lost, but so yeah, the atmosphere, like I said, is just really cool, and I wanted to show off another area specifically because of the atmosphere. So let's take a look at I think it's this zone. So here's a different place. This is a castle. These enemies right here, they actually don't take damage at all from physical attacks, so it says no effect. So yeah, that's definitely something you have to think about when you're going through the game. This area right out here, you come into this for the first time, and you're immediately shoved into the center of a place that you have no idea what is going on. I think another big part of the game that really makes it is the music. And there's just no replacing good music in games. That's one thing that makes all of the Dark Souls games really amazing. Bloodborne, Elden Ring, all those sorts of games. And this game, the music is pretty simple, but in a really good way. Sounds. You can hear all sorts of sounds. You don't know what they are. This area is just completely bare. There's something over here. Just giant feet coming out of the sky. I've never tried attacking this guy, so let me go ahead and try that. Jotun. He's not really doing much at all, but it does say it's taking damage. Let me try a different weapon. Nope. Pretty much nothing. As good as nothing. So that's the cool thing about this game, is that you'll find things like this, and maybe later there's something you can do to that. But right now I have no idea. It's just a mystery. And I really love that in these sorts of games. For me, I'm definitely much more of a story and lore nerd, so anything that is mysterious, interesting, it just does something for me, and the FromSoftware games are one of those series that they do it right. You know? There's just enough mystery there. Maybe a bit too much mystery sometimes, let's be fair. But, I don't know, there's just something about it that makes me want to keep going. And I think this game actually does that, which is something you don't see a lot. So I think I think Lunacid deserves a good amount of recognition for what it does. We have this guy over here. No idea what it is. Sort of an alien creature. Let's see if we can kill it. It's running away. Okay. Yeah, you just kind of find these enemies out in the middle of nowhere. And not all of them will just attack you on sight. Some of them definitely will. And the AI for them reacts in a different way, it feels like, for each thing. It's not just all the same sort of enemy over and over, copy-pasted. So that's something that I really appreciate. So yeah, this is Lunacid. If you want to check it out, it is on Steam. It's actually pretty cheap. I think it's only like $7, $6.99, something like that. And it's definitely worth a look. I think that you won't be wasting your money if you put $7 into this game. You'll definitely be getting more out of it than that, in my opinion. Yeah, great game. I hope that we get a lot more like it.